Hello, I'm Super Orange Cat here today with my review of Fena Pirate Princess Episode 8. I start with some of the things I liked about this episode, continue on with some of the things I didn't like about this episode, and kind of tie this up with a nice big old fat bow at the end of this video. So, some of the things I liked about this episode. Well, I liked how they build intrigue pertaining towards Fena's mother, because of the discussion in this episode of, oh, Fena is a witch, or the females of her family are all witches, they make men do dumb shit, you know. And like the fact that you have Abel, who's the British guy with blonde hair, who's like obsessed with her mother, Helena, because I guess he's the future lead singer of My Chemical Romance or something. So he's obsessed with her still, and there's implications that Yukimaru is becoming obsessed with Fena as well. And you have kind of like this plot twist of the whole, oh, by the way, like they go back in time a little. It's like the old guy was talking to Shitan's like, oh, by the way, if Yukimaru starts simping, yeah, just kill Fena. Like I know we're doing this whole thing where we're trying to find the One Piece, the British are trying to find the One Piece, the sexy female pirates are trying to find the One Piece, but like, and she's like the only way anyone can find the One Piece, but like, yeah, if shit gets weird, if he starts simping, just kill her. Like, it's not worth that trouble, you know? And other stuff I liked about this episode. I like, this is one thing I noticed, and I forgot to mention a few episodes back. If you've been paying very close attention to Fena's hair, you'll notice that it's getting slightly longer and longer as time goes on. I like that little touch of detail to highlight kind of the change in time, which is something the Promised Neverland season 2 didn't do. Like, for example, when Promised Neverland season 2, when we see Norman again, he looks exactly like he did in season 1. In the manga, they physically changed his appearance to imply, yeah, he started to hit his teenage years a bit. To kind of show, kind of give a picture of, like, this is him being more mature. He's different now from what he was at the Gracefield house. And that was one touch I really liked in the manga that the anime deprived us of, but that's something Fana does well. And another touch of that this episode is the dog that was really small back in like episodes 2 and 3 is now like a full-on doggo right now, and I really like that little touch to the animation. And here is where the rant begins. Okay, so what the fuck was the plot in this episode? Okay, and I had one person like message me at like 12:10 last night when this was actually airing. I like just watched it a few minutes back. I DVR'd it, and he told me, "Yeah, Fana just went full shoujo." And I was thinking, okay, don't be too dramatic. This show has shoujo elements, but it's kept kind of under wraps. It's just a small bit of the show. At the end of the day, the shonen has really shined through, and it's really more of an action show. So that person was right. Okay, so basic plot of this episode, you have Yukimaru being saved at this hospital in, I guess, somewhere in either like Morocco or Greece. They have pretty similar architecture. And he's like being saved, and then Shitan is pissed off because he has a special connection with Yukimaru, where it's like, I was told by the old guy that, oh, by the way, all of the Houtman women, yeah, they're all like witches and stuff. So like, if Yukimaru starts like simping, I have to kill her. And everyone's like, well, could you do that? She's our friend. And Shitan's like, dude, the guy who's your boss literally told me this. I think I have the higher ground here. And everyone is still whining. Everyone's still kind of bitching about, you know. And then you have like Shitan like being like, oh, I can't deal with this shit. I probably have to kill Fena. He runs off, not killing Fena like he was told to do. And then like he goes to this mountain to like contemplate. You have this like sequence of stuff. Like for example, you have this sequence of like back after that ship was initially attacked like 15 years ago, where they said the only person that survived that was on that ship was Yukimaru, and he was still gravely injured. And of course, Fena was the only other person saved because Yukimaru saved her. And so it's like you see, like in the show, did a decent job of showing like Shitan has this special connection to Yukimaru because although Shitan's older brother was calling Shitan weak and pathetic and saying Yukimaru's better than her, Yukimaru never let that go to his head and he still treated Shitan as a friend, which is good characterization the show does, and that's another good thing this episode actually does right. But like, and then like he gets moody, goes to this mountain, and then of all people to try to track him down, they send the person he was supposed to kill. Which is like, if he was in the previous episodes, they showed he's the person most likely to actually follow what the old guy says. So Could have just killed her right then and there. It would have made perfect coherent sense, and that would be the end of Fena Pirate Princess. But again, Konami wants to milk this out to 10 seasons probably, so we're not going to have anything like that happen here. Oh, by the way, everyone's saying it's going to be action and climactic next few episodes. No, it won't. No, it won't. It's like, but the previous show, no, it won't. Like the 2 episodes ago, we had this scene where it's like the pirates are shooting guns and shit at people, but that was like the only action in the episode that was really a plot dump. You know, you're not gonna get action. Sorry, you're not. Maybe we'll get like one fight scene in the very last episode that'll be like very rushed, and people will act like it's the best thing that ever happened in Shonen, when really you probably had hentai with better gunfights at this point, you know. Oh, and like also speaking of that, like okay, you have like this scene was just Fena screaming at Shitan of like, I know you're supposed to kill me, but I like you and I like all my friends. Okay. And this is the scene where I realized this show. This show is basically this is America's response to Steven Universe, isn't it? Okay, think about it this way. You have a bunch of very strong, high-powered individuals that lives with this very inexperienced, more or less spoiled kid, and like the spoiled kid just wants everyone to get along and have a good time. Well, all we need is just space Nazis to show up and to be magically forgiven in 2 episodes. And it's exactly like Steven Universe now, isn't it? And that's what I'm fully expecting at this stage. No, we're gonna have like the female pirates show up and they'll be like, no, 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 no. See, like they're just mercenaries and they're actually kind of cool people. Remember, like how we showed Mary's kind of funny and kind of in love with Kaede? You know how Charlotte's kind of wacky? You know how Molly's really not that much of a bitch? They're actually good guys. And like season 2, they're gonna be like working with these guys and they're gonna be like, see, like the British are the problem. This able guy probably wants to like have sex with Fena because he reminds her of her mother, and he's still under her mother's spell, and he's now also under Fena's spell because of the transitive property. That's what I'm fully expecting. Don't At this point, first 2 episodes, I was expecting the best because they were delivering. Like the plot was really well written, the characterization's really well written. But now we've just jumped away from Shonen, and now we're full blown shoujo. And like I said, and people are gonna be like, "But there's gonna be an ultimate fight scene." Maybe, but at the same time, but like, and like I hated too how they were like, Fena saved Yukimaru. And then Shitan was like, no, he didn't, you dumb bitch. It's like, and like, it's like, especially like how Karen's like, actually, yeah, yeah, she totally saved him. She threw herself on him. And Shitan's like, shut up, you fucking thought. I just love that. And he's like, no, it's the other way around. Yukimaru got shot in the back like it's a fucking traffic stop. And then Fana just started crying. And then, no, we came in and we saved everyone, you know? Why are we taking credit from ourselves? This makes no sense. And then it's like, and then you have Yukimaru show up and just kiss her on the hand because, again, this has to be shoujo now. And then, of course, because we're shoujo, Fena doesn't take this maturely. She's like, absolutely falls weak at this. She starts like like panting, out of breath, falls back. And if you weren't looking at the TV, the grunts that she started making definitely reminded you more of hentai. Really, if you still have DVR this episode, just go to the part after he kisses her hand, turn away from the TV, and listen for her noises. Turn back around and fully expect there to be tentacles. Let's be honest, that's exactly what you would expect. And ultimately, I feel like the show has sold its soul for this. And like, yeah, and the show definitely can redeem itself in some aspects. Like, I'm really intrigued to see what Abel goes from here because he still had that teaser at the end was like, "Soon I'll be with you, Helena," implying there's a slim possibility that Benna's mother's actually still alive. She might be like the queen of the pirates now or something. You know, she might be in charge of O'Malley. We don't know because we don't know if O'Malley ever said, "I'm in control of this," because she never actually said anything like that. You know. Maybe there's some higher up power, you know, the big guy, you know, that's really in charge, and it's Fena's mother or something, and Abel's under her spell. That's why, despite the female pirates like backstabbing him 10 times, he still worked with them. And at that point, and also, I guess the female pirates are still alive. I mean, they're still in the opening sequence, and it's like I don't think they would kill off like 2/3 of the villains and like by one bomb or something, you know. It's just like an episode of Family Guy. The one that it was like they're doing episode 5 of Star Wars, and it's the part where like it was Han Solo, Princess Leia, C3PO, R2D2 and Chewbacca were all like on the spaceship on the Millennium Falcon, like going through the asteroid field, and like Lois as Princess Leia is like, I'm worried, and Hans is like, okay, 4 of the 5 main characters of this movie are on this boat. We're gonna be fine. That's what it feels like here. Like the female parts are probably fine, but enough. I've been speculating a lot on this. Although this episode had decent, oh, I liked some of the plot elements. I kind of like the twist of Fena being a witch. Although from what brief glimpses I could get online, a lot of people did not like that because again, you have this whole thing already of like they're trying to throw. I feel like this show could turn into the type of show where they're just gonna throw twist after twist, like an M Night Shyamalan movie, and act like they're doing something deep, but really just makes things confusing. I could see it going that way, and I'm a little less confident in the show now than I was 4 or 5 episodes ago. But at the same time, it can redeem itself. It's like episode 8 of the Promised Neverland season 2. I'm saying I'm just here for the dumpster fire. Here, I still think this show can really churn something out, something beautiful. Although my hopes for it aren't as high as it used to be. And with that, I would give this episode a 6 out of 10. What do you guys think? Did you enjoy this episode more than I did? I honestly hope you did. Leave your comments, leave your opinions down below. I am the Super Orange Cat, and that is all.